Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, saya Nina Sulistyowati, dosen S1 Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris, Departemen Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris, Fakultas Bahasa, Seni, dan Budaya, Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta. Pada kesempatan ini, saya akan menyampaikan paparan salah satu mata kuliah yang saya ampu, yaitu Semantics and Pragmatics. Video ini dibuat untuk memenuhi persyaratan sertifikasi dosen tahun 2026 terkait pernyataan diri dosen dalam Unjuk Kerja Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi atau PDD UKTPT. Berikut deskripsi singkat mata kuliah yang saya ampuh, yaitu Semantics and Pragmatics. Mata kuliah Semantic and Pragmatics memiliki bobot 2 SKS. Mata kuliah ini termasuk mata kuliah linguistik yang bertujuan untuk membekali dan meningkatkan kemampuan serta keterampilan siswa dalam mendemonstrasikan kompetensi komunikatif bahasa Inggris di berbagai konteks secara efektif. Setelah menyelesaikan mata kuliah ini, mahasiswa diharapkan mampu menjelaskan makna bahasa, baik dari sisi sistem bahasa itu sendiri atau semantik, maupun dari konteks penggunaannya dalam komunikasi atau pragmatik. Dalam mata kuliah ini, mahasiswa akan mempelajari bagaimana makna ditentukan oleh struktur kalimat, hubungan antar kata, serta bagaimana makna tersebut dapat berubah tergantung pada situasi, tujuan pembicara, serta interpretasi pendengar. Untuk capaian pembelajaran mata kuliah ini, terdapat 4. Yang pertama, menjelaskan hubungan antara bentuk linguistik, makna, dan referensi. Yang kedua, menjelaskan peran konteks, baik fisik, sosial, maupun linguistik, dalam menentukan makna ujaran dalam komunikasi. Yang ketiga, menganalisis komponen-komponen makna seperti ciri semantik atau relasi makna dalam teks lisan dan tertulis. Dan yang keempat, menerapkan prinsip-prinsip pragmatik untuk menggunakan konteks secara tepat dalam komunikasi lisan dan tulisan dalam bahasa Inggris. Untuk materi pembelajaran, mencakup beberapa konsep tentang relasi semantik yang meliputi proposition, reference, ambiguity, hyponymy, entailment, homonymy, and polysemy. Kemudian, dasar-dasar analisis semantik dan kaitan makna, dan yang terakhir adalah prinsip-prinsip dasar dalam kajian pragmatik seperti context, speech acts, deixis, conversational implicature, presupposition, politeness, cooperative principles, and discourse structure. Khususnya dalam kaitannya dengan pembelajaran bahasa Inggris sebagai bahasa asing. Untuk sistem pembelajaran mata kuliah dilaksanakan secara blended learning, yaitu tatap muka secara daring maupun luring. Untuk metode pembelajaran dilaksanakan dengan ceramah, diskusi, tanya jawab, presentasi, dan studi kasus. Kemudian untuk komponen penilaian, terdapat 2 teknik penilaian. Yang pertama, kognitif, yang meliputi kehadiran 10%, tugas 20%, UTS 20%, serta teknik penilaian yang kedua yaitu partisipatif yang meliputi team-based project sebesar 50%. Berikut saya sampaikan rekaman pembelajaran salah satu mata kuliah Semantic Pragmatics dengan topik Speech Acts yang dilaksanakan pada minggu ke-11. Halo, good afternoon, guys. Good
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss.
Hi, how's your day?
Alhamdulillah, good.
Good.
I'm fine, Miss.
Alhamdulillah,
Great.
great.
So great.
You look so happy, especially you, Mas Eko. Okay, before starting our class today, let's have a short prayer, shall we? Okay, Amin. Thank you. Now let's check today's attendance. I will share the token through chat box. I will give you a moment to complete your attendance, please. Okay, thank you. It's look like everyone has completed the attendance, and I'm happy to see that everyone is present today. Okay, let's begin our lesson. This is our 11th meeting. So, before moving on to today's topic, let's briefly review what we learned in our previous meeting. Last week, we discussed about uh, three important concepts in pragmatic. What are they? Can you mention them?
Reciprocity
That's
and also entitlement.
entitlement.
Yeah, good job. Thank you. They are deixis, presuppositions, and entailments. Okay. And now let's continue with our today. Okay. This is our 11th meeting. And last meeting, we have discussed about deixis and then presuppositions and entailment. Have you seen my screen, guys?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Thank you. Okay, so why it is important to learn about speech act? So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to define the concept of speech act in pragmatics and then identify and explain three levels of speech act. They are locutionary, illocutionary, and perlocutionary. And then the third one, you will be able to identify types of illocutionary acts. So I will give you a picture. This is a picture of a girl and a boy, a girlfriend and her boyfriend. And then the girl said, I am hungry. So what does the girl really mean by saying I'm hungry? Is the is she simply stating her physical condition, or does she have another intended meaning? What do you think, guys?
She has another intended meaning.
Yeah.
Okay, she has another intended.
Another.
Yeah. What do you think? What does the girl mean by saying I'm hungry?
Maybe is asking for hunting something.
Yeah, okay, good job, man.
Go to canteen.
Go to canteen,
Yeah.
asking for some food. Yeah, actually, when your girlfriend say I'm hungry, you have to be positive and then okay, let's grab some food. Okay, and in today's lesson, we will learn about how people use language not only to convey information, but also to perform actions such as requests and then apologizing, promising, thanking, and declaring. And this is the basis of a speech act theory. Okay, I will move to the definition of speech act based on two great linguists. Okay, the first one is Austin. Austin said that to say something is to do something. So when we say something, actually we do something. For example, when I said, "Can you close the door?" to you, to Mbak Griselda, for example, I uh, I I am not simply asking whether Mbak Griselda has the ability to close the door or not. I am performing the act of making a request. So I ask Mbak Griselda, I want Mbak Griselda to close the door. And it is same with what Shirley said, that a speech act is an utterance that performs an action. So when we say something, actually we perform an action. We want something to do. We want someone to do something for us. I will give you the level of speech act, 3 level of speech act to make your understanding deeper. This is the 3 level of speech act based on Austin. For example, it is called here. Austin divide speech act in 3 levels. The first one is locutionary act, allocutionary act, and perlocutionary act. For example, it is called in here when the speaker say, for example, we are in a classroom and then I say it is cold in here to you. The locutionary act mean the literal meaning. So I am saying it is cold here mean that it is cold. The classroom is very cold. When I say it is cold in here, the illocutionary act meaning the intended function or behind the utterance. When I say it is cold in here, I want you to turn off the air condition or close the window. And then for the prelocutionary act is the effect or the result of the utterance on the listener. For example, when I say it is cold in here, and then Mas Yudo close the window or turns off the air condition. So is it clear for the locutionary, illocutionary, and prelocutionary act? So
Yes.
Yes, Miss.
yeah,
Clear.
okay, thank you. Locutionary act is the literal meaning. Illocutionary act is the intended meaning, and the perlocutionary act is the effect or result on the listener. Okay. Okay, the next slide. How about this? This is a case. The context is it is raining outside. You meet your lecturer who is about to go to the canteen, and you are carrying an umbrella, but your lecturer is not. And the lecturer says, I forgot my umbrella. What do you think? What is the locutionary act, illocutionary act, and perlocutionary act? Okay, can you help me to analyze it for the locutionary act first?
So that's the literal meaning. I forgot my umbrella, so the lecturer forgot the umbrella.
Yeah, okay,
Then
thank you, Mbak Salwa.
the illocutionary act, so the lecturer asks to borrow the umbrella.
Yeah, okay. And
Join the umbrella. Then
Mm,
locutionary act, so I give my umbrella to my lecturer.
yeah, good job. Yay. Good job, Mbak Okta. And how about the others? Do you have the same question answer with Mbak Octavia Salwa?
Yes.
Yes,
Same.
Miss.
I forget my umbrella. So the locutionary act is the literal meaning that the lecturer literally states that he or she forget to bring her or his umbrella. The illocutionary act is the intended meaning. So the lecturer is indirectly request to borrow your umbrella or the student's umbrella. And then for the perlocutionary act is the effect for the listener. So the effect is because you understand what the lecturer's intended meaning, so you lend your umbrella to your lecturers. Okay, thank you guys. Good job. And then we will move to types of illocutionary act. The special one, illocutionary act, the intended meaning. So there are 5 types of illocutionary act. They are assertives or representatives, commissives, directives, expressives, and declaratives. So each type serve distinct social and psychological function. So I will give the explanation. For the first one, assertive. So assertive speech act are utterances in which speaker commits to the truth of the proposition being expressed. So when the speaker represents how things are in the world or expressing beliefs, stating facts, or describing reality. So there is an example, and the context is when students say, I think this article is easier to understand. So the student expresses a personal opinion. This one, expressing belief or opinion. So can you give other example of stating facts, guys? Maybe. Maybe I will give you the example first. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. This is stating facts, right? So can you give another example? Okay, Mas Eko, please.
Think about the earth. The
Okay.
earth revolves around the sun.
Okay,
It is
good job. The
yeah.
Earth,
Revolves
yeah, revolves
around the sun.
the stars. Okay, yeah, okay, good job. Thank you, Mas Eko. And then let's move to the second types of request. This is commissives. So in commissive speech act are utterances in which speaker commits themselves to future action. For example, I promise to finish my paper by Friday. I will call you tomorrow. I swear I will never do that again. So the communicative function of commissive speech act is to make promises, threats, offers, or vows. And then next, directives. Okay, for directives, directive speech act are utterances in which the speaker attempt to get a listener to do something. So when we say something, we want listener to do something. For example, there are two types of directive speech act. The first one is a direct directives, and the second one is indirect directives. For example, for direct directives, direct directives is the request is stated explicitly, close the door. For the indirect, the speaker actually wants someone to do something in a hint statement or indirect statement. For example, it is cold in here. Actually, it is not a statement, but it is a request. So do you have any question about this? Okay, Mbak Nailis, please.
Yes, Miss, I have one question
Hmm?
and about the directive one. How can you know that what someone wants if they use a hint in the directive speech act?
Okay. How can we know what someone wants if
Yes, Miss.
we or they use a hint
Yeah.
in a directive speech act? Okay, we can infer the speaker intended meaning by considering the context, not just the literal word. Because in pragmatics, listeners rely on several factors. The first one is a physical context, or where does the conversation take place, for example, in the classroom. And then the situation, what is happening at that at that moment. For example, the situation is very hot, for example, and then shared background knowledge. We know each other. For example, have you finished your homework? And then actually, I've said in the previous week that this is the day of the deadline of the assignment. And then the relationship between the speaker and the hearer. For example, teacher and student in a classroom, and then the teacher said, "It is hot in here." So the student will turn on the air condition or open the window. So they know each other, they know the context, they know the situation. But Nelis, is it clear?
Yes, so the important one is situations and also the context. Yes.
Yeah, good job,
Okay.
Mbak Nelis. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Yeah, okay, let's move to expressives. So, expressive speech act express the speaker's feelings, emotion, or psychological state. For example, "I'm sorry for being late. Congratulations on your graduation. Thank you for your help." The keyword is speaker's feeling, emotion, or psychological state. So, can you give another example, maybe? Mas Yudo or Mbak Griselda. Expressive speech act. Oh, maybe.
Bisa, Miss Ebis, coba Miss. Untuk
Okay.
like, I'm sorry I didn't come to your birthday yesterday.
Yeah, good job, Mas Yudo. I'm sorry I didn't come to your birthday party. Yeah, good job. This is to express the speaker's feeling. Yeah, thank you, Mas Yudo. Okay, next, the last one is declaratives. Declarative speech act change the social or institutional reality simply by being uttered. So the point or the keyword is the speaker must have institutional or social authority. For example, in marriage ceremony, the context is during a wedding ceremony, the couple has completed all the legal and ceremonial requirements, and then the speaker is officiant, for example, marriage registrar or minister, and then the utterance is I now pronounce you husband and wife. And of course, this utterance change the couple social reality because they become husband and wife. Okay, do you understand, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, do you have any question? Oh, Mas Eko.
Okay, I wanna ask about the declarative, Miss.
Okay.
Oh no, I mean, this is my question.
Hmm.
Can the same utterance
Hmm.
perform different speech act in different contexts?
Oh, okay. Yes, of
Same
course.
utterance,
The
yeah.
same utterance can perform different speech
Yeah,
acts depending on the context
yes.
or the speaker's intention. For example, when I say it is cold in here, it is assertive and directive. Become
Yeah.
assertive and directive. Why assertive? Because I am simply stating the fact about the temperature, about the classroom temperature. But when I use it as directive,
Mm.
it is indirect directive. It is a request.
I see.
I want indirectly you as my student to close the window. Okay.
Okay.
Is that clear, Mas?
Yes, Miss.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mas Eko. Okay, guys, do you still with me? Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Miss.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. And then we will have fun game. So you can access this code from your phone, and then we will start the game.
The winner, ma'am.
Okay, Mas Ray-chan. Rashid, Yudo, Eko. Okay, so I will start the game right now. Let's start the game right now. Yeah, Mbak Nelis, congratulations.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay, let's review the question. Help you finish a difficult project before the deadline. And then you say, thank you so much. I couldn't have done with you. So what is the answer?
Expressive.
Why
Expressive.
expressive?
Expressive.
Why? Because
Because the students
the
did
student?
said her feeling.
Yeah, good job. Thank you, Mas Rai-chan. Before we end this class, let's review what we have learned. How do you find divine a speech act in your own word? What is speech act in your own word?
May I, Miss?
Yeah?
So speech acts is to do something while say something. So when we
Okay.
say, actually, we also asking something maybe or to do something.
Yeah, thank you, Mbak Nelis.
Yes, Miss.
We talk through our language. It is speech act. Yeah. And then, how about the level of speech act? What are they?
Locutionary act, locutionary act, and pre-locutionary act
Okay, thank you,
for
Miss
the level of speech acts.
Isoda.
Yes, Miss.
Good job. And types of allocutionary act? 5 types of allocutionary act?
Assertive, declarative,
Mm-mm.
directive, commissive, and expressive.
Yeah, good job, Mbak Octavia Zalwa. They are directives, commissives, assertives, and then declaratives, expressive. Yeah. Thank you for your participation today. And next week, we will learn about implicator. So have a nice day. Thank you. See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.
See you, Miss.
See you.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss.
you.
Bye.